Hi, I'm Randy Robison. This is Life Today TV. I'm here with singer, songwriter, Grammy Award winner Ashley Cleveland. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. And a little bit later we'll get some music, so look online for the music from Ashley too. You know a lot of people.
I do know a lot of people. And I remember most of their names.
For people that don't know, give me a little highlight reel of who you've worked with.
Okay, well, I will just start by saying before I was signed to my first record deal and began making my own records as an artist, I mean, part of building my career was as a background singer. So I moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 1984 and ultimately began singing, worked my way up and began singing background on people's records.
Right.
And so I worked with a lot of country artists like Reba McEntire, Emmylou Harris, Rodney Crowell, Brooks and Dunn. You know, as soon as people start asking me, who have you worked with, then I totally forget.
Yeah,
and then I've worked with blues artists like Delbert McClinton and Etta James. I've worked with many, many gospel artists, Amy Grant, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Russ Taff, Jars of Clay.
Yeah.
And, you know, over the years, I've just sang on several hundred recordings as a background singer. A lot of studio work, which was really an amazing experience for me because, you know, there's a distinct difference between being an artist where, you know, you are front and center and there's the focus and it's not really a team sport when you're an artist unless you're in a band.
Yeah.
But as a background vocalist, you're there to serve the singer and the song. And so it's much more of a finessed type of activity. There's, you know, occasionally there's some step out pieces, but in general, it is so much about the blend and about serving, as I said, the singer and the song. So it was a wonderful, I can't, you know, there are many people that I admire very deeply that are full-time background singers, and I don't think I ever achieved their stature, but I had a great run, and I really enjoyed it, you know, and I think it helped me be a better artist in a way. So.
Now, you got to have some great stories.
Well,
that you may or may not want to tell.
You know, I mean, some of them you probably shouldn't tell. You know, here's what I say. You know, whoever your musical heroes are, it is most of the time best not to meet them.
Yeah.
Because if they have a bad day, then you have to smash all the records. So.
Yeah, you're stuck with that.
But I mean, you know, I remember going and working for Etta James, who was a huge hero of mine anyway, and she showed up in big fluffy pink bedroom slippers to record, and I always loved that. And you know, it was more about getting to be around other people and seeing what their recording processes were like.
Yeah. So now, when you're front and center, give me a best and worst. What's the best part of that?
Well, the best part of it is that you know, you get to kind of have your say as an artist, and you get to have the opportunity to fulfill your you know, your vision, your way. I mean, you know, it's your baby. But the worst part of it is it's your baby. So if it tanks, it's, you know.
Yeah. Nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to hide. So, you know, I mean, but I love being an artist. I mean, for me, you know, music and playing music is a way to articulate things that are deep. You know, I'm a songwriter, and so I do have an ability with words, but there are even deeper things that there really aren't any words for in that. So there's a way of singing for me that kind of expresses that. And so when things are going well, when I can pull into that, you know, into that inner place and have my say. It's a pretty fab thing.
Where do your best songs come from?
You know, there's always a discussion about that. I think, you know, for every songwriter, you kind of hope for these songs that sort of drop out of the sky, and you write them in a really short period of time. They just, you know, kind of your biggest assignment in the whole thing is to kind of get out of the way and let the song emerge, whether, you know, both lyrically and musically. And it just seems like an activity of your stream of conscious. So I love that, but it doesn't happen very often. And then the rest of the time you're slogging away, writing and rewriting. And you know, I've gotten great songs both ways, but I think the stream of consciousness songs are my favorite.
Now, the songs that we get to hear, what is it, Little Black
Sheep is a stream of consciousness
song.
song.
It is?
Absolutely. I was at my pastor was from Mississippi, and he had a nanny when he was growing up who used to recite little rhymes and limericks to him, and he would incorporate them into his sermons. He was something of a poet too, and I don't even remember what his sermon was about, but one day he recited a little limerick about a little black sheep, and I was so captivated by it because I thought, well, that's me. And I went home, and you know, the song just kind of tumbled out in a very short period of time.
Before we hear that song, I want to give you the chance to give people your website, your URL, if they want to check out your music and what you're doing.
Yes, ashleycleveland.com, and the song Little Black Sheep can be, it's on a record that's not out yet, but you can actually download the song at iTunes.
Well, we're going to go to the studio right now and hear you singing Little Black Sheep. Here is Ashley Cleveland.
Now the boy told the shepherd, there's a fearful storm, so I went out to the fields to drive the flocks home. And I counted every lamb into the keep, yeah, all except for one, that little black sheep. Little black sheep, little black sheep in the howling wind, with no relief in a cold, cold world. Nothing sounds so sweet as the voice of the shepherd to a little black sheep. Oh, that little black sheep, she ain't nothing but trouble. She's not worth much, and she'll cost you double. And the shepherd say he knows, but he won't sleep. He's gonna go out and find that little black sheep. Little black sheep, little black sheep in the howling wind, with no relief in a cold, cold world. Nothing sounds so sweet as the voice of the shepherd to a little black sheep. Oh, that little black sheep was the wandering kind, but the shepherd brought her back every time. And mama say, child, when your pride starts to creep, you best remember we all just little black sheep. Hey, little black sheep, little black sheep in the howling wind, with no relief in a cold, cold world. Nothing sounds so sweet as the voice of the shepherd to a little black sheep. a little